Fuck it.
Well, fuck it live. What?
We'll fuck it live.
Or
All right,
fucking
we
live.
are live currently, and it
Oh,
is
shit.
10:30. Don't shit, please. 'Cause that'll be-
Shit, I said fuck.
Oh crap! All right,
Oh, poopy.
let's jump right into it, guys. We got a nice long one lined up here. If you know what I'm saying.
Zip.
Welcome to the Lovecraft Tapes. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore, and we play Call of Cthulhu, or Cthulhu, depending on what podcast you're on. A horror role-playing game based upon the fictional works of H.P. Lovecraft. Your investigators of the unknown are Matt, as Private Detective Dan Williams,
And this weed is the work of the devil. And this weed is the work of the devil. And this weed is also the work of the devil.
Brian, as Dr. Hubert Pretorius Loveland,
Let me see that weed. I think that's the direction we need to go.
and Gabe, as Special Agent Roy Arroyo.
France.
Oh, sorry. Welcome, players. Let's begin by checking the mailbag for any letters from beyond.
The sack.
Oh, mail sack, sorry. We have some iTunes reviews to share.
Weird.
This one is entitled, Made Me Legitimately Scared by Wouter V. And he says, I have a rich fantasy world in my head, so when the GM goes into horror mode between on the goofs of the players, my hairs stand on end. Certainly worth a listen.
Very nice.
Sorry, you have to use iTunes.
Or Apple Podcasts. Where the hell
Apple Podcast. Come
Although
on, man.
this was
We've
actually
updated.
from quite a while ago, and he's from
is it?
Belgium, so he might have been using iTunes at that time.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is entitled, I just found this podcast and I can't stop listening by Interrodang.
So you're telling me the subliminal messages are finally working?
It's about time. It's about time.
And he says, the headphones have buried in my ears and will not come out. And I see a shadow in the corner of my eyes. It hasn't left, but it is getting closer and closer. When I turn to look at it, it disappears. I fear they are closing in now. Please never stop. I love you guys.
Aw.
I located this podcast while trying to find something to fill the void that was in my heart during Cthulhu and Friends' hiatus. This podcast has entered in that void and caused it to fester in the best way possible. There's mystery and a wonderful feel to the podcast, and the chemistry between these actors is real. I love it.
It does
is
really
real.
seem.
That's
I have no idea who these people are.
It does really seem like we are a substitute for Cthulhu and Friends.
I like it.
Morning, Keith.
I like it.
That's our new slogan, the Lovecraft Tapes. An acceptable substitute for Cthulhu and Friends.
We're the store brand Cthulhu and Friends.
Spartan.
Yeah,
Other people don't get what that is.
Kirkland. They know what
There
that
you
is.
go.
Kirkland. That's
There
cool,
you
yeah.
go.
I always figured we were like the government cheese, just the white cardboard with the black letters.
Mm-hmm. What do the letters spell?
Cheese.
Oh. On
do
the
you
black
spell
cardboard
cheese?
or the white cardboard?
On Facebook, a comment from Ralph Polner started my second listen through of this amazing podcast.
Wow. Second listen through?
Second listen through, yeah. Missed all the intricacies of our plot and all of the fine acting and yeah.
You had to go
All
back
of-
for seconds of that lovely taco fish.
Just to make sure that we didn't miss anything with our library use rolls.
Oh, we did. We missed
we
a
did.
lot.
We missed all kinds.
We
of
missed it all.
We
There's the
misinterpreted
library. I was at
everything.
the CVS.
And finally, on Reddit, just within the last 12 or 13 hours, we got a comment, a very nice, lengthy comment from Eleanor Ran. And they say, I just wanted to begin by saying I love the podcast. It's inspired me to get more involved with RPGs, so thank you. I'm a newer listener, and since I've found this podcast the other month, I have been listening on my commute to work every day. I definitely enjoyed the noir vibe of the first and second chapter. Now, as I have gotten deeper into Call of Cthulhu, I have been interested in Cthulhu before, getting more involved with RPGs. I find myself much more drawn to keeping. I ran a trial one-off scenario, and it went well. But while listening to the podcast, I have been wondering how your story process works. I would love to try to create my own scenario, but I'm a bit concerned on where to start designing one. So far, I have used available scenarios, but I would love tips to begin designing. So obviously, this is a question for me or a point to me. And I did answer this at length on our Reddit. But to summarize, essentially what I do is, or at least have done for the previous 5 chapters, is start with a published scenario of some sort, and then modify it.
Just put your name on it.
Just put my name on it. Done. Done. And then I read it verbatim, and I give these guys the scripts to read verbatim what should be done. And it's completely scripted. No. No. So basically, I take those published scenarios, and if they're not in the timeline that I need, then I tweak them to take place in the era that I need them to, and also tweak some of the monsters or tweak some of the characters to be more in line with maybe NPCs I've introduced in previous scenarios. And but a lot of the times, what happens is during the play session, the actors, the investigators' actions will sometimes dictate what I need to do to modify the scenario. So if there are some particular clues that need to be collected within the scenario, maybe they stumble across something that they've developed themselves that substitutes for that. So I sort of substitute things on the fly. And then also, because we try to end on a cliffhanger each session, that sometimes forces me to introduce story elements that I hadn't planned on, just to keep the tempo and the rhythm and the beats of the story going. And then at the very end, whatever that particular story element I've injected might come back to haunt me later. So I tend to spin those off into other elements that will maybe surface in future scenarios. So I think if you've gone through all 5 chapters now, you'll see that there's a lot of interweaving from scenario to scenario. So that's the basic answer to your question. I hope that is helpful. And I see you also left another comment, Eleanor Rand, this morning on that. And I'll be happy to finish answering that question later. So,
yay!
Hooray, beer! All right, announcements. We got them. Do you like what you hear?
No.
Then dagnabbit, support us on patreon.com/Lovecraft Tapes. It will hook you up with some sweet, sweet rewards. Again, that's patreon.com/Lovecraft Tapes.
We are not responsible for any food poisoning that may come from consuming the taco fish we send you in the mail.
Want to own us? Then darn it all, buy our stuff at teespring.com/stores/Lovecraft Tapes, including #tacofish shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, and more. Again, that's teespring.com/stores/Lovecraft Tapes. Thanks. You can find these links and more anytime at the Lovecraft. Lovecraft?
Uh-oh, we gotta change podcast. Change everything, guys! Stop the printing!
You can find these at Dan's Crypts. That's it. No. You can find these links and more anytime at thelovecrafttapes.com. Does anybody know what time it is?
10:38.
Nope, it's time to pay the bills. Let's take a quick commercial break. And we're back.
And that's why I decided to not wear underwear today.
I know I can smell. I mean...
Well,
I am
mean,
pretty
you're
sure
like
it's
right over there,
though.
so I shouldn't be surprised.
Underwear?
Under there.
Oh.
Under nowhere, because it's not on.
Well, dear investigators, it's time. We continue. Chapter 6, The Big Uneasy. Previously on the Lovecraft Tapes. Deep beneath the crumbling edifice of Laplace Memorial Church, Dan comes face to face with a group of robed, shuffling corpses who appear to have been infested with plant life from the surrounding swamplands. Despite the shock of this realization, he manages to flee back to the church. Meanwhile, Roy barely manages to escape an attack on the belfry. His masterful avoidance, though, leaves him dazed and in a trance. a virtual zombie, doomed to be led around by his compatriots like a lost dog until he can regain his wits. Hubert, however, manages to catch a glimpse of the jellyfish-like creature that smashed through the stained glass and immediately wishes he hadn't. The trio regroup at the dais just in time to seal off the undead figures below. Hubert decides to follow certain signs deeper into the cemetery, accompanied by Roy, and together they stumble upon a secret. Dan opts to stay alone at the church to calm his frayed nerves.
Oh.
Ha.
Dan, you're busily
This weed is the work of the devil.
Dan, you're busily snipping with your pocket knife at the vines and other greenery, encroaching the spot where you sit on the church steps when the shuddering thump crash from inside the once holy place sends shivers throughout your body. All at once, you're quite sure you smell grave soil and rotten moss. Hubert, you're standing at the edge of the cemetery, parting the foliage to reveal a wide earthen tunnel that descends downward and northward beneath the overgrown underbrush. From within the darkness, the scent of freshly turned earth exudes. You can clearly see various footprints, some shod, some bare, coming and going from this hidden entry. Roy, you shake off a strange malaise, almost as if you'd been out drinking too late the night before and forgotten something vitally important the next morning. Still,
He left the TV on. It's still on Sports Center.
Still, you're sure you've been up to some sort of awesomeness. You are alive after all. But you do seem to remember a soft, soothing female voice trying to tell you something. Something very important. Now, however, you're standing next to Dr. Loveland in a cemetery, and you have no recollection how you actually got there. So let's pick up with Dan first.
Just gonna write no exit on the doors, and that's gonna solve my problems. Because they'll see that and realize they can't leave that way, right? Is that how that works?
Yep.
Yep.
Great.
If I've seen any zombie movie, that's exactly how that works.
So do the doors to the church open in, or do they open like out towards the steps?
They open out towards the steps, and they're
That's how you kill someone.
they're in pretty bad shape, so they're not exactly the most stout-looking things.
Huh. Are there like any like broken off tombstones or large chunks of stone or stuff I could like put in front of the doors to maybe try and slow them down a bit?
Well, you're not quite sure. You can certainly try that. You will have to go into the cemetery proper with all of that grass and vines and moss.
Yeah, bro. And he quit.
Goodbye.
Just kill yourself and end it. That way you don't have to figure it out.
I'll respawn back at the can I just like even before I go for it, can I just like see anything around me like that?
Well, you tell me. You're sitting on the like what?
I was thinking of maybe seeing if like because it's an old cemetery, maybe there were some of the tombstones that have either broken off or there are large chunks of rock. Or I was trying to find something to as the doors swing outward. I was trying to find something to like stick in there to prevent them from being able to push out if what I think is happening is happening.
Well, why don't you go ahead and give me a luck roll?
Look, this baby's going to come whether you like it or not.
I needed a 52 and I rolled a 24. That's a hard success.
All right. So just down at the bottom of the steps on the right-hand side, you do spot a sort of fallen column. It looks very heavy, but you might be able to drag it up in time to help bolster the doors. It doesn't look like it's going to maybe hold the doors, but it could slow them down as you'd like.
Okay. And it's not like super far into the...
No, it's actually you're lucky because you got the hard success. The end of the column is actually on the pavement, so you should be able to do it without touching any sort of greenery.
Sweet. Okay, I'm going to drag that column and stick it in front of the doors.
All right. So you do so, and as you place it, sort of wedge it against the doors and sort of up underneath the handles. So you feel like you've got a pretty good obstruction, but you do hear the shuffling of many feet inside approaching the doors, not in a very fast fashion, but steadily, inexorably coming.
That seems kind of personal.
It's George Romero fashion.
Yes, nothing but George Romero.
In that case, I'm going to get in the boat, go back to town, grab some weeks of supplies, and come back, and I should still have time, right?
Absolutely. If you roll a 1 on your luck.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my gun and fire one off into the air just to let the doc know that something bad is happening.
All right. And let me, I forgot to change the map over, so let me move you on over there just so you've got a good layout. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we'll leave you there just about to pull the trigger on your gun, and we'll pick up with the doc and Roy, who are standing at the edge of this swamp. And Roy, you just come to realize where you're at.
We're in a swamp.
And scene.
Captain Obvious.
It's not obvious to me because when I got entranced, I wasn't in a swamp.
Oh,
Dummy.
So Roy is just like talking to the open space.
I'd say the
talking to
ganja is still
myself.
happening.
Roy, my boy, are you feeling better?
Better than what?
Oh, you've had an ordeal.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I
will
remember
fill you
was
in
there was
later.
this hot chick.
Right down here is where we need to go. Can't you see it?
No. I
Stick
can't
with me,
remember
I'll get us
seeing.
there.
I can't remember how to see.
Jose, can
It's
you
right
see?
after the bee.
You're right. I get it now.
Not the bees.
So what's been going on?
Oh, right now is not the time to fill you in. We've got to keep moving. We've got to get there. We have the trail in front of us.
You can walk and talk. It's not that hard.
Nope.
He can walk and chew bubble gum, but he has not mastered walking and talking.
And he's all out of bubble gum.
Ugh. Oh, shit. Fall on my face. All right, Roy, let's get down this trail. I'll tell you as we go.
See, I win.
Win what?
Yep. One
What-
point,
what-
Roy.
What are we agreeing on?
Roy won. Rest of the world, like 30.
Oh, it's a game.
All right, let's go.
Okay, great. So we're going to head into the forest.
Okay. So you
Or
descend.
swamp, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So it's basically just an earthen tunnel that heads further north and down. So it's going below ground, essentially.
Okay, so it's going underground. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And you can see it's pretty wide. It's obviously enough for the two of you guys to go side by side.
Okay.
And
Arm in arm and skipping.
Yep, but there is no light after clearly after you depart the entrance. It is just an earthen tunnel leading underground.
Mr. Arroyo, do you have a flashlight?
Let me check all my pockets and stall while I look in my inventory. No,
What's
but I
an
do have a
inventory?
gun.
Oh, well, that will light it up very quickly for a short amount of time each bullet you fire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We may not
just
be
have
able to
to not
proceed
blink.
without a flashlight. I wonder if Daniel has one. He's not too far back.
Well, I feel like we could wait till our eyes adjust.
All right, let's wait. I'll tell you what happened in the church.
And you guys both realize that your phones have flashlights on them.
I have a flip phone, so let's
well,
not lie.
that's fine. You can do that. My old flip
got the
phone had a
screen.
flashlight.
The flip phone screen. All right, so I'm going to pull out my phone and try the flashlight
It comes on.
and see if it illuminates enough for us to proceed.
Sure. Yeah. You get just a very faint glow. You can probably see about 8 or 10 feet in front of you. No problem.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah,
You know
so
what? I don't trust this. We should still go back to waste time.
Let's go forward a little bit more just to see. All the clues are right in front of us.
All right, like 4 steps.
40 steps?
That's a lot of steps. I don't know about that.
Well, we've already taken 16 while we're talking.
I've been told this program is only 12 steps.
Well, the hidden steps are there once you reach 12.
Then they got you. Then you got a coin.
Ah, you must.
Well,
finish.
when I try and take the program, it's actually 24 steps.
Then you have to pay homage to Xenu.
What?
All right, so we're going to go forward a little bit further
Sure.
just to kind of see where it's headed and
Okay. Yeah.
maybe
So
give a description.
it pretty much stays straight and narrow. It's clearly has been tunneled out, probably by a man-made machine potentially.
Oh, wow.
The walls are very smooth and round, and it's although it is slightly moist and damp in here. As you proceed further, it does actually dry out, and you can see the footsteps even more clearly. Particularly when you use your flashlight, they stand out, your cell phone flashlight. And so it sort of dries out, and you can see these are clearly looks like boots and human feet, and it just keeps going further north and slightly down. The temperatures are starting to drop a little bit, so it's much cooler, much more pleasant down here.
The mole people. I knew it.
Mole people. And after you can see ahead, after you've gone, let's say you said about 40 steps, so let's say about 40 feet or so, maybe even like 50, 60 feet, that even though it was a bit of a steeper incline or decline underground, you can see that it's starting to level off and sort of flatten out.
Okay, good. I'm going to pull out my my notebook and make a few notes of the size of the tunnel, where the entrance was at, and the comment about the mixture of shoed feet and bare feet heading in the same direction.
Yes, and primarily they are heading north.
By doing that, it appears magically in the wiki by the person who's not playing, right? No.
Magically. Yeah, for the most part, the footprints are going back and forth, but primarily they're heading north. You can tell that much.
Okay.
And because you've spent some time actually, studying this slightly, why don't you go ahead and give me how about an intelligence roll? I like that.
Oh, I don't have any intelligence.
That's true.
Side, right? Yeah.
It's your main.
No, I know where it's
characteristics.
at. I'm always trying to figure out which side of for the dice. I needed a 45. I rolled a 24.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
a normal success.
Yeah. So you basically understand that after the incline, you're probably well below ground, or at least where it starts to flatten out. You're well below the surface. You're probably easily, let's say, 40 feet below surface.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it
that
does.
was a real steep incline.
It does become a subterranean sort of tunnel, but clearly designed. Yeah, nice. Clearly designed to be this far underground, and that's probably why it's so cool. Roy, why don't you give me a listen roll, please?
A 24.
I'm not good at listening.
We need a 24, Gabe.
2 24s in a row. Come on, Gabe.
Well, if we get a 24, I fail. So let's not hope we
That's
get
all right. At
24.
least we'll have it.
I needed
Whoa!
20, got a 90.
Okay.
Damn it.
It's not
That's
a
fine.
fumble.
That's fine.
It's just a fail.
Just a fail.
Spend just enough luck to make it a 24.
Okay, you're right.
All right.
Hold on. How much will that put me at? That'll put me at negative 70 luck.
Spend it. Spend it.
Push the roll.
That's true. You could push the roll. That's always an option.
I cannot push the roll because I'm not gonna, because Roy does not do listening well anyway.
That's true.
What?
All right. So, Hubert, you finish up your note taking?
Yes. Yeah. I finish up my note taking. I'm going to take my sword out and stab Roy. No.
Make an attack roll.
Put an X.
And I don't hear it coming.
That's right.
or see
Roll
it.
for initiative. Oh, wait a minute.
What's weird, it was right in your ear, too, and you never heard it coming.
I'm going to put an X on the wall where we're at.
Okay.
And then
the
I'm
whole
going
tunnel
to
collapses.
suggest to Roy, we've got to go get Daniel.
But
We're
aren't
going to need his expertise.
Aren't those monsters from the labyrinth going to come up and change the wall so we don't know where we're at?
That's another reason why we got to get out of here.
And Hubert, I'm going to need you to, that seems a little contrary to your character, so if you truly want to suggest that, then I'm going to need a roll from you.
Okay. From my character or from my affected?
And I believe this will be a power roll if you want to subvert your actual intentions.
Pow, right in the kisser.
I needed a 65. I got a 63.
All right. Well, it's totally up to you, but that's not what your self is telling yourself.
That's true. And the reason why I wanted to play it this way is it's like wearing off a bit. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, didn't we establish that you were under that
For 9 hours.
for 9 hours? And
Yes.
this is
So
hour
how
one.
long? Well,
Oh, this is still hour 1.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, I
this
thought
just
we were
happened
like
to you.
4 or 5 in.
No.
Okay.
No,
My
not
bad.
at all.
Then I would not have suggested that.
Okay. You
I thought the conversation with Dan and all that took time. Okay.
And you wasted a good roll.
Yeah. Shit happens when you don't have a clock. All right.
it's
Well,
10:56
Can
a.m.
we make like a clock for the screen?
Real time role playing.
Yeah, I'm trying to rely less on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I've got it marked. Let's keep moving, I guess. I didn't know. I wait. Let me fix it. Okay. I didn't notice that. You see this boot mark?
We should mark on the wall so we can see where we are and then go find Dan.
I already suggested that. But I didn't notice this boot mark. This is familiar. Now we have to keep moving. He'll have to catch up.
It's a boot.
It's a boot.
The
What?
boot.
Das Boot.
When did you become Canadian?
So we're gonna keep moving down the tunnel. Well, I am.
So Hubert proceeds. Roy, what are you doing?
I guess I'll follow because I got nothing better to do.
Well, you gotta shut your flip phone and reopen it to get the screen to come back on.
That's
All
true. I'll
right.
do
So
that.
Hubert and Roy continue along the tunnel and becoming more and more comfortable in their nice, digs there, and following the boot prints, which now are clear, like shine out from all of the rest of the footprints to Hubert, and those boot prints are only heading north.
Did we, hey, Hubie, Herbie fully loaded. Did we ever, did we find those Dr. Kevorkian guys? Is this like this place?
I don't know what you're referring to, Roy.
The Snake Boys?
The Galactic Heights?
The Galactic Space Jams?
Yes.
Hey, that's my gig.
Yeah.
Well, I
What the hell
actually,
was that?
I genuinely don't know the name of them, so it's not really a gig.
I'm not sure who's down here, to be honest with you. But I know that we really need to find the antidote for your infliction.
What if we don't?
Shh, listen. Do you smell something?
All right, let's cut the action there and let's head back to Dan. Dan, you pull the trigger on your gun and fire a round in the air. And at that moment, you hear something hitting the other side of the door of the church.
I really hope they haven't gone super far into some weird underground tunnel where they couldn't possibly hear me.
When they rolled a 90.
Damn it, Roy. Okay, I'm gonna back up from the doors as much as I dare with all the weeds poking through the cracks in the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna kind of, point my gun, aim down sights, and just wait. So I'm just like ready for them to burst through.
Why don't you give me a spot hidden, please?
He said, "Wait, not look."
It's now
I needed
5
a
hours
68
later.
and I rolled an 18. That is another
Nice.
hard success.
So as you're, back up on the church steps and get back onto the pavement without hopefully touching any greenery, and you're keeping a bead on the door with your gun, knowing full well that you would never have enough ammunition to fend off whatever's coming through there, you notice movement away to the western edge of the cemetery. A group of shambling figures coming from, and I'll bleep it on the map here for you, here, and more coming from here.
Well, fuck.
And right now you can see there is easily a dozen. They're moving slowly toward the church. Here, do that in my face.
Refreshing summer breeze.
Makes me feel fine.
Oh, God. What do I do now?
Just give up, dude.
I'm going to dress up like the priest and pretend that I run the church, and we're going to Scooby-Doo the motherfuck out of these guys.
I have an idea. Let's wait 9 hours.
Then you'll be swimming in the vines. Oh, yeah, backstroke.
Oh, no. Twitter closed down Vine. That's no more. Okay, so they're coming from the west side, which means the closest group I have to worry about are the ones coming out from the church, supposedly. And I don't think the other two losers are going to come and help. I mean, I'm debating if I can make it back to Rita. I'm going to hide in the boat with her, but that
Rosita.
would revolve... Or Rosita, something like that.
Lovely Rita, meet a maid.
It's Roxanne.
But I'm not sure if I can make it that far through the swamp right now. I am really screwed. Thanks, Roy, for failing that listen roll.
I don't remember doing that, so it's not my fault.
Fair.
So I know which way they went off into the swamp. I saw them leave. So I'm just going to put my hand over my eyes and start running in that direction. If I don't have to see that I'm touching the greenery, then I won't really notice.
All right, so let's. That's fine. We can do that. So let's do. I'm going to see which way that might make sense. So let me take a peek at yours. Okay, so let's make it very easy for you. All you need to do is make a successful sanity roll to get through it. Otherwise, you're going to have to figure out something else.
Watch, I'm telling you now, this is going to be the one that's going to screw me over. I've gotten 2 hard successes so far. Oh, and I got another one. What the fuck is going on?
Become
I'm
more
confused.
sane.
That's it. I'm retiring. Good night.
Morning.
What are you, Seinfeld, going on a high note?
Yep. I'm going out on high. Oh, wait, no. Gabe is the one who's high right now, isn't he?
All right,
Not
so
anymore. They got fixed.
so
You got fixed? Ooh, I'm sorry about that.
That's not good. The old
I had too many kids, man. You get it.
Exactly. All right, so Dan shields his eyes and stumbles into the cemetery proper, trying his best to stay on the path, which is, and sort of gingerly stepping through the vines and overgrowth. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to need you to, well, hard success, I'm actually going to give it to you. Never mind. So your hand that's holding the gun is shaking almost uncontrollably, but somehow you manage to keep hold of it. And you peek up. You're about halfway to where you saw Pretorius and Arroyo disappear into the hedge. When you see that the shuffling figures are indeed more of the robed individuals coming, they're about halfway through the cemetery en route to you now, changing their course. And you hear a crash from the front of the church and a piece of stone rolling down some steps. And you find yourself at the edge of the foliage where they had disappeared. Why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden?
I needed a 68 and I rolled a 9. That's an extreme success.
What is happening?
I don't know.
So
I can only tell that this is going to come back to bite me in the ass in a future episode.
You easily see that a couple branches have been broken from the hedge, and beyond is quite clearly a tunnel entrance. And you see an earthen tunnel sloping down and northward.
I guess I'm gonna follow them down and in because that's clearly the way they went.
All right, you enter the tunnel. Roy and Hubert, you're proceeding along. Brian, are you on mute? We can't hear you.
Try hitting
He's
the
dead.
reconnect button. The
That
setting.
means I'm
I
in
heard
charge
I
now.
heard a weird like clicking, zapping noise. Yep,
Yep,
you're good.
there we go.
Okay, weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I heard like a weird zapping noise, and then
I heard it too, though.
Yeah, then you
So
were.
it must
That
have been
might have
me.
been my chair.
No, it was.
'Cause
We
I-
heard your chair on top of that.
It was a
Anyways,
laser.
moving along. So Hubert and Roy, you're proceeding along the path.
All right, go back to Dan.
Dan, you're proceeding along the path.
Thanks for the update.
So you're quite a ways through the tunnel, just following those boot prints, and the tunnel at certain periods sort of opens up and then narrows down, but it's always with maintain enough for you guys to be exactly like that. Maintain side by side, no problem. Let me see here. I thought I had a little deal. And after probably, you estimate you're probably gone maybe 100 yards, you both very clearly hear the sound of rushing water overhead.
Russian water?
Russian water.
Damn communists!
And then just ahead is Hillary Clinton. So
No, that's worse.
In Russia, tunnel goes down you.
ugh. That's probably right, though.
I'm all for it.
So clearly there is the sound of rushing water overhead. Why don't you each give me an intelligence roll?
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Ooh.
Shout it out.
I needed a 45. I rolled a 65. That's an ultimate win.
I needed a 50. I got a 74, but I would like to point out this is a win for me because I am more intelligent than Hubert is.
Nice.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting.
You should have waited until I showed up.
Yeah, bet. So yeah, there's just the sound of right. You're not quite sure what it is. It could be a waterfall nearby. It could.
Roy,
be,
stop pissing. Jesus.
Yeah, you're not quite sure. It might be a
Put it
leak
back
somewhere.
in your pants.
Are you half horse?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
And
He's all jackass.
That's not a horse.
But you proceed along. Hung like one. You proceed along the path, sort of paying attention because as you pass under the sound, it's clearly going behind you. So whatever is there is stacked directly above you, but you're far enough underground to where it probably doesn't affect you at all. But unfortunately, as you're preoccupied with the sound,
We get shot and die.
you get shot down. You're dead.
Sorry.
Thanks for listening.
Too late. You hear the sound of rattling.
There's a baby down here.
I shoot it.
The only thing worse than a rapist, a child.
And Hubert whirls back around towards the front just in time to see that he's accidentally kicked a rattlesnake nest.
Holy crap.
And we're in combat, folks.
Shoot it.
Combat, folks?
Combat,
New
folks.
Hasbro.
Doo-doo-ba-dip-bop.
Welcome to our new podcast, Combat Folks.
That actually would be a good one.
And guess
It'd
what
be
Matt
folk
just
music.
did? Matt just screwed this combat.
Thanks, Matt.
That's what you get for not coming back for me.
For who?
All right, I'm pulling up the cheat sheet for combat flow.
Okay, I'm going to pull mine up as well.
Combat flow.
I'm pulling up.
Can't I just step on their faces and end this combat?
Right? Exactly right.
I mean, how many of there can there really be? Like 2?
Actually,
100.
there are. Let me pull these up for
I was
you.
going to say, it's a nest.
I'm seeing if I can.
Probably like 20,
Yep.
Oh, so
Smart
3.
thermostat.
but they're little ones.
Pulling up my counters.
I feel like I could
Is it
definitely
one
beat
horse-sized rattlesnakes or 100
rattlesnakes
rattlesnakes?
in a fight.
Yeah, everybody talk at once. That's awesome.
See, there's only one. I was right.
Oh,
there
looks
are
like it's in
actually
the shape
4
of a
of these
heart.
little puppies.
How many?
4.
Nice.
See, I could win.
I thought you said they were snakes.
Huh?
You said
Are they
puppies.
snakes or puppies?
What, are they snakes or
Oh, they're
puppies?
snake
They're
puppies.
snake puppy hybrid.
Oh, not snake puppies. Matt knows that puppies are worse than snakes at sometimes.
All right.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are.
I'm just making a
I
couple
only have
notes
minor
here.
cosmetic injuries. Thank you very much.
All right.
Let's call it out here. Roy, what's your dex?
50.
Nice. And Hubert?
900
Eh,
It's
probably not.
over
Probably not.
1,000.
or 40. It could be 40.
40? Okay. Well, they're each 90, so they're all going
I
to go
know.
first.
They're snakes.
Did I say 50? I meant 100.
And 50.
I meant 91.
$1, Bob.
Okay.
Wait, that's not how this works.
It is now.
And I'm just jotting down their hit points real quick. All right. So
It makes sense that they go first anyway because we startled them.
Yes. Yep.
exactly. Startle.
Roll for surprise.
Sneak attack.
Roll for surprise. So we're gonna have basically 2 on
know
each
my
of you
reach.
trying to bite you
Why?
because they don't like you so much.
No.
All right. So
I don't
let's-
have
Who
emotions.
cares?
Let's do
I
Hubert
already
first.
need 1 antidote. Who cares if I need 2?
So what you're saying is I'm going to come down the tunnel to a pile of dead bodies.
No, just 2. Just 2 dead
Dead
bodies.
snake bodies. Got them.
Here we go. Let's do Hubert first.
Uh-huh.
And Hubert,
nice knowing you
what would
guys.
you like to do as your counter move?
Do a jump back.
So that'll be a dodge.
Yeah, or Chrysler. It doesn't matter.
All right. So attacker with the higher level of success. Draw equals defender. Both fail, no damage inflicted. So go ahead and roll your dodge, please.
Awesome.
So you failed.
I had a 20. I needed a 20. I rolled a 39.
All right. Snake bites with a hard success. So he needed a 40 and rolled a 9, and that would be 2 damage to Hubert.
All right.
How many you got left, buddy?
8.
8. So you had 10. You now have 8. And I'm going to need you to make a con roll, please, against the poison.
Oh, I got to con the snake.
You got to con the snake.
I thought you had to charm snakes.
I needed a
so
50. I rolled a 45. I'd like to spend a luck.
All right.
I
So
wanna push the
a lesser effect. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we'll find out what that did for you here in a minute. Second snake attacks.
Holy shit.
Take 1 more point of damage as another bite.
Did you hack this?
I hacked it.
You're a hacker.
His roll
I have
20
no
is
doubt
coded
this
differently,
coming.
Brian.
And you're okay with the poison at this point because you're already poisoned.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Now
I've
he's
come to
super
terms
cool.
with my poison.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to Roy. And you know, I'm sorry. On that second roll, you also get some sort of maneuver.
Oh, true.
But you get a penalty die because you're defending against 2.
Right.
So you need a penalty die in the
I'd
second
like to
one.
pull out my sword as my second. Or was
well,
it already
you
out?
can either dodge or fight back.
Was my sword already out?
It's
Mark?
fine. It's fine.
Back.
Okay. Yeah. I will fight back.
Okay. So you need a better success than he had.
Okay, what do I roll?
A fight. So
fighting
sword.
brawl.
So in your weapons, you should see
I'm going down to...
Yeah.
Yes.
So roll that baby.
Fuck you. I needed a 40. I rolled a 59.
And
I
you
failed
damaged
3
yourself.
damage and stabbed myself for 3 damage.
So you were unable to defend against. So let's move on to Roy. Roy, the first one is obviously going to attack you. What would you like to do as your...
Shoot it.
All right, so it's a fight back. So go ahead and roll.
And I'd like to just say, for someone who puts so much effort in shooting things, it's not good. But I need a 24. I got a 7.
All right.
Shabam.
The snake gives you 1 HP back.
How's that work?
Congratulations.
It bites itself?
It does -1 damage.
-1 damage. Nice. All right.
It hurt itself. It poisoned itself.
What did you get, Gabe?
I needed a 24 and I got a 7, which is a hard success.
Okay.
Nice.
And it looks like you're maybe rolling the firearms under skills rather than the actual weapon.
Where do I...
Just scroll down.
The
to
weapon
the
section's is below those skills.
I see.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I
but which is-
wasted that good roll.
No, we're going to accept the roll, but go ahead
Yeah.
and roll your damage separately. If you do it the other way, then your damage will go automatic.
I see. A 4 damage.
Yeah.
No, just roll whatever the D... So what is the D?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's the damage? It's 1D something.
D3?
Is that what it says?
1D. It says 1D3.
For a gun?
That doesn't make sense. That's
Look
unarmed.
at my thing then, because I'm confused.
All right.
Unarmed is
I'm looking at your
1d3.
thing. Oh, that's
Oh,
gross.
4. It's a 4. I was looking at it like it was like the panel. It's 1D4.
So bullets are only 1D4?
I guess.
Let's take a quick look at you just to make damn sure.
Yeah. It seems low for a gun.
Yeah, because my
It just
pistol
says
is a
4. It doesn't say 1D4.
2.
Oh,
So
okay.
let me double check my trusty keeper's notebook.
Mine's 1d6 for my sword.
Which, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but I'm going to just double check.
Guns are better than swords.
Right?
Keeper rulebook.
Unless it's a gun that shoots swords.
That's true.
That's true.
But that would be better than swords anyway, because it'd be
Sure.
swords but fast.
Uh-huh. Isn't that all bullets are, but mini swords flying very fast?
Or a rocket launcher that shoots shovels.
That would be better.
Open, bitch.
This
Far
isn't
Cry 5.
There we go. All right. This will just take a sec to open up. I just want to make darn sure we've got that damage correct. So you have a 6-shooter, which would be... I don't know if 6-shooter's in here, but we'll find out.
Should be. It's a common gun.
Well, just need a moment. Talk amongst yourselves.
Revolver.
I like how I ruined the game.
Nice.
That's loud.
Thanks, Obama.
Oh, bungo.
Okay, stop that before we get sued.
Jeez, Matt.
Okay, firearm. Go, baby, go. Searching one of 449 pages.
Use the find key.
Check. I am.
This is
Tell me what to do. You're not my mom.
right here. This is top of the line.
Where
stuff
am
right
I?
here. Top of the line. This is what
Is anybody chatting with us today?
I always
Keith
feel
was
bad
on.
for live viewers.
Firearms.
Fire legs,
Blue,
fire
blue,
keepers.
blue.
We already covered this.
fire torso. Fire in the
Fired! You're fired!
hole. Fire in the hole.
Get out!
Whoosh.
Get out of
All
here!
right, just double checking my
Security!
weapon list. Where are you? Blah blah blah. Don't care.
Okay,
don't
Google.
care.
Where's Jeremy's weapon list?
Flow chart. Damage. Here we go.
Damage. It's pronounced damage.
Think about it.
It's French.
It brought up Ghost Recon Wildlands when I asked where your weapons list was.
Poisons. Ooh, I like this. Might need that in a minute.
Oh.
Let's see. I think it's someplace down here. Scenarios. Weapons table.
All right, I'm going to go mow the lawn.
All right, you do that, mofo.
I'm gonna go help Brian mow his lawn.
Hand-to-hand weapons, no, don't need that. Handguns, here we go.
Thanks for your help, Gabe.
I'm giving us time to think, idiot. You're just not using it.
Using what?
I want to double sprint down the tunnel and use all my movement.
All right, Brian, what would be a six-shooter?
Revolver.
I have 357. I have 32.
32, I think. The 357, I think, is a 5-shot.
No, 357 is a 6-shot. It's a manual
357
revolver.
would work.
Yeah,
then.
both are a 6-shot.
357 was the Dirty Harry gun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I also have a 41. That's an
His was a
8-shot.
Magnum.
Or a 40.
I have a
actually,
6-shot, though.
Doesn't a 45 make more sense?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I mean, it's
Probably.
Roy.
For
So
law enforcement.
you would probably want the bigger gun.
Yeah.
His loving handgun, 12 bullets, Trilby, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Ghost of Liam Neeson, got it. So we're going to change this to a 45 6-shooter. And it's actually, yep, that makes sense. So
What's the damage?
Damage, you're going to like this, my friend.
It's a 1d40.
1d10
Nice.
plus 2.
Hey, that's the same damage as my 45 auto. Nice.
Yeah, how do you do the plus 2?
You just type +2, like the
And
plus sign.
it'll
and
actually
number 2.
go, you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
All right.
I've rolled 12 points of damage with my gun before.
So your range is 15 yards. You can do 1 or 3 attacks per round.
Wow.
Remember, if you do 3, then
Accuracy.
subsequent get the penalty dice. And you can do 6. It'll hold 6.
Nice.
And 2 malfunctions on 100. So there you go.
You mean chocolate malt functions are on
Right.
100?
Yeah.
Exactly right.
I
All right,
rolled a
so-
100.
So you're up to
chocolate
date.
malt
Go ahead and
spraying
roll
out the
me
entire
a
gun.
D10.
A D10?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And then we'll add 2 to that.
Oh,
6.
So good news is you just blew away one of the snakes.
that's
Just blew
good.
a snake.
It's dead before he
Idiot.
could actually bite you, which is awesome.
Need to re-examine your life.
The fourth and final snake is going to lash out at you as you plow. What would you like to do as your...
Shoot it.
That's going to be a penalty dice on that. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll mine first. He failed. So all you need to do is get a success.
Can I have those?
I got a fumble.
Oh, shit. Fumble. Well, luckily for you, it doesn't malfunction. But your bullet goes astray and
hits Hubert in the foot.
bounds off the walls loudly. And it is now Roy's turn. What would you like
It
to
was
do?
just my turn.
No, you were defending.
You were fighting
defending.
back.
Yep. Now you actually have the initiative.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
Run away!
Shoot. And you don't need a penalty die on this if you're just shooting.
I am just shooting.
Keep in mind this will be your third bullet.
Okay. I got a fail. I needed 24. I got an 81.
Do you want to stick with that?
Yeah.
Push
I think,
the
well, you
roll.
can't actually push combat roll. Sorry.
Oh,
No,
no,
you can't.
can't.
This is
No,
combat
I
rolls
thought
cut
about
out.
All
it,
right.
yes.
Well, he's going to fight back at you.
Idiot.
And he rolled
he
a
failed.
40, or he needed a 40 and he rolled an 80, so he fails as well.
Welcome to the world's clumsiest
you
combat show.
You can opt to fire off additional rounds, but you take penalty dice on those. You do have 3 bullets left in your gun.
Yeah, but I have 6 at the wayside. But I assume I'll need a turn to reload.
Right.
I'll do it because
Action.
why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Why not, bruh?
Okay.
And if I take this, I can watch Hubert fight his 2 snakes since I got my 2 snakes.
Pulls out a
done.
lawn chair.
All right, so. Oh, I needed a 24. I got a 4. That's an extreme success.
But unfortunately, you have to take a penalty dice.
Of what?
So you roll a d10.
D10.
Okay.
And
I
that
got
24 becomes a 70. Or that 4 becomes a
11.
74.
Oh, I forgot what penalty dice is.
Yeah.
So your bullet actually goes astray, buries into the ground next to the snake. You can do one more with the penalty dice if you want.
No.
Okay. So you currently have shot 4 bullets, right? And you have 2 left in the chamber?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we're on to Hubert.
Yeah.
Still running down the tunnel this time.
He said back to Hubert. Gross.
My snake should attack him instead.
Yeah. If Roy kicks it down the tunnel,
Hubert,
it lands on Dan's face.
And Hubert, you feel a little bit of a burn where it bit you in the leg.
Oh, hot.
The Disco Inferno.
It's so burny and hot.
Hot.
What would you like
It's
to
my
do?
attack, correct?
It's you to do what you need to do.
Swing with the sword
silly
cane.
Snicks. I'm going to attack with my
Slice off
sword
the fin.
cane. Stop talking.
No.
Talk.
Trying to play my roles.
No.
I needed a 40. I rolled a 22.
All right, he's going to fight
2
back,
damage.
try to lash out at you.
No.
Oh, you lose.
He needed a
What's your
40,
problem,
and he rolled a
Paul?
15. That's a hard success. And he succeeded better than you did, so you do no damage, and you take 1 damage as he lashes out and snaps onto your hand.
Even though I had the initiative?
Yep. When you fight back,
Doesn't-
the highest
right.
level of success wins.
You can't take a penalty for that?
No, because he's
I
only
rip out his
attacking
damn
you.
fucking fangs?
So, Kersnap. And we're now at the top of the round. So, Snaky number 1 is going to lash out again at Hubie.
Goodbye, everybody.
And how many hit
Doobie.
points you got left, Hubie?
None of your business.
None yet?
I got 6.
All right. And you need a 40 to roll the 7. That's an
But
extreme
he does no
success.
damage. Somehow.
He hit me
Yeah,
with a
how is
snake.
that even possible? Because it's a
Because snakes can
1d4.
lash out but not connect.
That's why I think it's bullshit that the weapon automatically calculates, because I got 1d4 on there and it rolled a 0.
It should
That's
be a
bullshit.
1
It's
or
weird
a
because
4.
when you fail, you roll a -1. So there's something
Right.
weird there.
Yeah, there's something strange going on.
Maybe it's
So he
just
actually killed him. He killed Hubert.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. Yeah. So just for good measure, I'm going to roll
Roll a D4.
manually.
Yeah.
D4.
Watch him get a 4. Of course.
4.
Of course.
So
Everything's
this particular
skewed
bite,
towards the dickhead over there.
you are you can
Head.
feel the poison just ebbing from his fangs into your. This is
I'm at 2 hit points. Doesn't that mean I've fallen off?
that means you now have a the wound, right?
Major wound?
You have to tick that box.
Yeah. Major wound. Yeah. That's
Major
what it is.
wound.
Come back next week when Brian's playing a different character.
Because of snakes, for Christ's sake.
Because of rattlesnakes.
That he kicked their nest.
I'm
Sure.
tired of these mother snakes
Sure
in
is.
this mother tunnel.
All right.
Soon I'll just be playing the enemies. There'll be nobody left.
All right. And
Brian
the
killed every
second,
single
the
NPC in
second
the
snake is going to lash out. And I'm just
Or
going to
4 points of damage.
Just win, dude. It's not that hard.
I did. That's the shit
You
part.
need a
is I
40
did
and
win,
rolled
and I
a 30. And 2
I'm
points.
dead.
Does that take you to zip?
Yes, it does.
Remember, you're not dead at 0 points.
Not dead yet,
But-
until they keep biting my dead body.
Hubert
I'm
collapses to the ground.
Great.
sucks.
I have to fight 3 snakes now.
That's up to you.
Just then, Jack appears out of nowhere through a teleportation device.
Is there like a flee option? How fast are these snakes?
Well, they're snakes.
They're faster than you because they're snakes.
What's
don't know
your
about
move
that.
rate? What's your move rate?
My move rate
Uh-huh.
is 7.
They're faster than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my gun rate is bad also, so I'm not built for combat.
Yeah, I am, and I'm the only one who's not there, so
You're never in combat.
Well, stop being scared of plants.
All
It's not my fault.
I think we
That's
just have
true.
one
hey,
snake
I
on
made
you.
it into the tunnel by covering my eyes and running through the brush. I think that counts for something.
You're the guy who's built for combat and you're afraid of everything.
Actually, I'm only afraid of plants for the next 9.5 hours. So
Uh,
All right.
So
Let's
he's
deal with this.
the snake on you has initiative, so it's going to lash out.
And I'm gonna
Jesus,
shoot it.
Jeremy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I rolled the wrong thing.
Can we count that?
There we go. There we go.
No, he'll still get successes.
We both got success.
I have a better success than you. I needed a 40 and rolled a 24.
Yeah, but I rolled a 23.
Yep, but you needed a 24, so it's the difference between who has a better success.
You rolled the wrong thing again.
I wonder if that means...
You didn't roll Poison Bite. You rolled Fighting Brawl.
Fighting Brawl is the correct one.
You've been rolling Bite plus Poison every other time.
I've been not doing that because the damage thing is not working properly. But the base for Bite plus Poison is Fighting Brawl. So
I see.
It's the same thing.
Roll a 0.
40 is what you needed. Well, hang on a sec, because I got to double check something real quick here. Because it says the highest level of success. And I'm wondering if that's actually the number or if it's the difference. That I believe that's what I thought it said.
I got a more impressive roll.
Let me check one thing here.
Because I was 1 point off from my limit. You were like a lot off.
Oh, I went back to look at mine. It wouldn't have mattered. It still is. They got the lower number. If it is the other way.
And
there goes my third character. How slow are you running? Are you like turn backwards and
rate of 8
towards us? We're not that far in.
Yes, you are.
Mm-mm.
We're 100 yards. That's not that far.
Mm-mm.
That's the length of a football field.
Yeah, people run a football field like 11 times in 2 hours.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm running on NFL time, so I'm only allowed to run for like 2 or 3 seconds before I have to stop and sit around for 5 minutes.
For a commercial.
Yep. Then I get to run for 2 or 3 more seconds, though. Hashtag sponsor us, NFL. Just kidding. We don't want your sponsorship.
Yeah, take a knee.
Take a knee.
I'll take a knee to the arrow. Wait, what?
Okay. Blah, 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 blah.
Welcome to the
Exciting
broadcast.
Exciting stuff we got here.
Okay. Grab hold of the cultist. Huh. So no bonus die. I'm just reading an example from the Keeper's Notebook. And it's kind of odd because it says in this particular thing, no bonus. Okay, the cultist tries to fight back with an elbow to Roger's gut. 29 is rolled for Roger's fighting brawl skill, a regular success. 21 is rolled for the cultist fighting brawl, a regular success. In the case of a draw with an opponent that is fighting back, the attacker wins.
Oh. So I should have won that attack.
If it's a draw. But that's what I'm trying to determine, like, why is that a draw? Because it's simply because they both succeeded?
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
But in the...
Yours was a hard success anyway, so you beat me.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm rereading the combat flowchart. I don't know if you guys still have it up or not.
Yeah.
If you dodge, then a draw, which means both succeed, then the defender wins. But if you fight back, it's the highest level of success. So it's a little bit different. So dodge is if you both succeed, then the defender wins. Right?
Okay. So he had to roll a dodge to dodge me.
If he was dodging, but he opted to fight back.
Okay,
so
and he gets
it's the highest level.
Back, even though he doesn't have the initiative. Okay.
Roll for, okay, so boom, a regular success. I want to see what happens when
it just seems weird that I'm the attacker, yet I do no damage and they do damage, even though they're both successes.
Okay, so here's one. Okay, so Roger gets 32, a regular success. The keeper rolls for rolls 0-3, an extreme success. The keeper rules that hitting the concrete floor This is a major one, so yeah, I guess I'm not seeing anything that says explicitly it's the difference. It's merely the let's see, let's do fight back. Blah blah blah. Improvise weapons, fight maneuver. Don't care.
Welcome to the Rules Tape podcast.
Yeah, I know, typically, but I kind of want to get it right.
Yeah, we need to get it right.
Just say I won, and we can move on.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
it's either I'm still alive with a couple hit points, or the character's dead, or at 0.
Yeah, I can't find anything that's explicit.
Boy, you'd think they'd be very clear on combat.
Dude.
If you die, you get to play Peter Lorre.
Exactly right. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to stick with my original ruling. So it's the different level of success. So that's what it says. It says the highest level of success.
Yeah. Still think it's weird though.
Okay, let's put it up to a rule, or let's put it up to a vote rather. So do we say it is the difference? Like if you needed a 40 and you got a 24, that is a 16-point difference. So it's a better success than if you just needed 1. Or do we vote and say a 23 that you rolled is better than a 24?
I think that's the fair route.
I think the lower number in that situation.
That would be my go as well. The dice, the lower the number.
Matt, do you have an opinion? Or are you just fucking around?
I'm just doing other things at the moment, but sounds good to me like that.
Like
what you guys said.
The lower number. I'm actually paying attention. I'm just trying to find us some royalty-free hold music I can play while we're waiting for you to read the rule book.
All right, cool. Let's do that then. So we'll say in this instance, you had the better success because you rolled better. And so you're able to do damage. And you blast that motherfucker to death.
Nice.
So there are only 2 snakes left.
Just so the audience
far enough away that they're not an immediate threat to you.
Yeah, so I'm a flea. Since they're not focused on me.
Okay. And are you fleeing northward or are you fleeing back the way you came?
Back the way I came.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, we'll leave that there. We'll show Roy beaten feet back towards the entrance to the tunnel.
Back towards Dan, specifically.
Hopefully, Dan, you have no idea whether or not
you have no idea he's coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And poor Hubert.
Yeah, but back where I think he is.
Back, and so Hubert is lying face down in the dirt with 2 snakes writhing over.
Sorry,
his
I barely
immobile
knew
body.
you, so I don't mind leaving you to die.
Thanks.
All right, so that's good.
It is.
It could potentially be good. We'll see.
Just so everybody knows, by us agreeing to that, the lowest number wins. I still would have lost in that battle with my rolling. So just so everybody's aware, I just want to make sure they didn't. Oh, they never went back and looked, you know.
The new rule should be that that me, Brian, and Matt always win.
I like that rule.
It's a good rule.
Welcome to the boring podcast.
You're right. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Participation trophies for everyone.
All right. So we're actually clipping along pretty well here. Yeah. So Dan, you have made it into the tunnel, and clearly they have gone that way. You're not sure. It's probably not that long ago, maybe 10 minutes. They're probably 10 minutes ahead of you. But it is very dark within this tunnel.
I'm going to use the flashlight on my phone so I can see where I'm going.
All right.
And not wonder if someone else has a flashlight.
Mental note.
Did you say
bring a flashlight next time I have a new character? So it's today.
All right. So you snap on your flashlight mode on your beautiful cell phone and head into the tunnel. And how fast are you clipping along, buddy?
I'm going to do like a brisk walk because I know that those things are still shambling out there behind me, and I don't want to be caught without backup in case they find their way over to where I'm currently at.
All right. So you are clipping along.
Like 80s style power walk, arms swinging, the whole thing.
Suddenly you have a tracksuit.
Neon leg warmers in a fanny pack. Heck yeah.
I'm working on it. All right, you're clipping along pretty well, and you do hear the shuffling sort of fading away as you move along, and it's becoming more insular and quieter down here. You do hear a little bit of the faint sound of rushing water ahead.
Russian water. Wait a minute. Deja vu.
It's
Deja
the
vu.
law.
intelligence.
And then you hear the sound of running feet coming at you from the darkness.
I'm going to swing my gun up and point it at the sound of running feet towards me, just in case.
And
But you're not afraid of running water? That's a lot more dangerous. They're scheduled to break the dam on this day, right where we are.
Goonie!
and you hear the sound of banjo music, which is really weird.
Yeah.
All right, and Roy, you clearly see a light up ahead, which is nice because you didn't have one.
My flip phone.
Flip phone screen out as he's running.
You can see his face. His own face is just... It's like a found footage film. And within 20 feet of each other, you recognize that it's Roy beating feet towards you.
Roy.
I'll draw my gun.
And we have a
Damn it,
Mexican
Roy, watch where you
standoff.
put that thing. You're going to poke an eye out.
All right, let's pretend we're in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I'm
John
going to
Woo
start
flick.
rubbing his feet.
Show me your
vigorously.
feet.
And a bunch of doves fly by.
No, that's John Woo.
Yeah, exactly.
Roy, what are you doing down here?
Oh, hey, so we were down here for
Uh-huh.
some reason.
Uh-huh.
He said Hubie said he was gonna explain it, but he never really did, so I just kind of ignored it.
Where is the doc anyway?
He's dead. Yeah,
Are
we
you
had a
sure?
run with some,
Because I
there was
mean,
some rattlesnakes, and keep trying to talk at the same time as me.
That's
And
awesome.
he's dead.
No, you first.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
So yeah, he's dead.
Did you check to make sure he wasn't just unconscious or something?
I'm not dealing with those other two rattlesnakes. I killed mine.
Wait, there are only two? You didn't just shoot the other rattlesnakes? I know how much you
well,
like to shoot things.
I do like to shoot things, but I only have one bullet left.
Don't you carry a reload?
Yeah, but I would have had to reload halfway through killing the one. Idiot.
Well, now that you're out of combat, can't you just reload right now?
But you're out of combat. Roll for reloading.
Oh,
Speaking of which, Roy, please go ahead and mark down your missing ammunition.
Yep. Where?
I believe in your notes
Inventory.
for weapons and possessions, you had something along the lines of 12 bullets or something.
Yeah, I'll but like when we get to a different location, I'll be able to
Repurchase. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
Well, you said you have 12 on you, right?
Yeah. What I'm saying is when we leave this place, supposing I do leave this place, I will be able to repurchase.
Yes, if you
Correct.
If you find a gun store, yep.
Right. Cool. So yeah, he's dead. So we should not go back down that tunnel.
We might want to. I mean, he has been researching the cult, which means he's the only one who knows anything about what might actually be going on.
Yeah, but he has 0 hit points left.
I mean, if we can get him out of here, Rita probably has some anti-venom, or at least knows someplace we can get some. He could, actually come out of this.
Rosita.
I don't know why I keep saying Rita.
Rosanna?
I keep calling her Rosalita.
I want a margarita.
Her name's Mike.
We don't judge
I
right
hit
here.
her.
So there's 2 rattlesnakes left.
You
Do
shoot
you
one,
think
I'll
you
shoot
could-
the other?
No, I'm not gonna do that because I suck. But
And as soon as
you are
say that,
Superman. Mr. Army guy, whatever, dude. You should just kill them both in one hit, and we can move on.
And as soon as you end that conversation, you hear 2 shots ring out from the north.
Wait, is Dan afraid? Is he calling for us?
I'm right here, you idiot.
You said you were going to shoot up when you were...
I did.
No, I don't know that, so ignore that I just said that.
Ago. Those shambling plant zombie things from the Plants vs. Zombies games are coming after us.
Oh, why didn't you start with that?
Because
let's sit down and talk for an hour.
You know what? You're
dead.
You keep an eye on the tunnel. I'm going to go back and try and drag the doc out of here, okay? And I'm going to just turn and head back down the tunnel in the direction he was coming from to try and find Dr. Pretorius.
I'm going to come with him despite his objections just in case they both die and I need to drag them both out.
All right. So you proceed northward along the tunnel.
Yep. And I know that he told me there are rattlesnakes, so I'm going to, keep my eyes peeled to the ground to make sure that they don't jump me.
Cool. Why don't you go
what
ahead
if they're
and
on the ceiling?
Spot hidden, please.
Ceiling snakes. I didn't think of that. I needed a 68 and I rolled a 43. That is a success.
Right.
Oh, well, when I said I was following him, like, I'm well behind him.
That's
like,
fine.
I'm just...
That's fine. I just want 2 spot hidden, please.
Fine. I needed a 70. I got a 16. That's a hard success.
Nice.
Rigid.
So you're both going along the tunnel with your phones out, guns out blazing, and 420. And the first thing you see is the snakes that Roy blasted to hell and back, just in pieces.
You're welcome.
Nice job, Roy.
And then you move along a couple more feet with your flashlight shining, and you see 2 furrows in the dirt that are appearing to continue along northward, and then 2 more dead snakes, both of their heads shot off.
Dude, I thought you said he didn't kill.
I don't think they heard you when you said your comment, Jeremy.
I heard that.
Okay.
I heard the gunshots comment.
Okay.
But we're investigating. He didn't kill them back there.
And you said he was at 0 hit points, right?
I don't know what you mean by that, but he was, he was dead. He got all bitten up several times while I was, mulling around with my snakes.
Well, I mean, obviously it looks like someone dragged him out of here after they killed those snakes, so...
Well, maybe he's a zombie.
Or it could be the 2 gunfires that went off while you guys are talking.
Wow, maybe we're, stupid and are role-playing, Brian.
The first part.
Both parts are accurate.
Shit.
Come on, we need to figure out what happened, because supposedly dead bodies don't just walk off leaving 2 furrows heading north on their own.
Wait, I'm Brian, and I want to make this as obvious as possible and not take any time on it. I guess it was those 2 gunshots, and I guess those zombies aren't real, and Rosita's there, and we got to go home because it's over. End of scenario. Let's have no fun.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining our podcast.
So, Dan, that is what you saw, is the snakes and the furrows, but with Roy's much better spot hidden roll, he also sees that there are fresh footprints to either side of the furrows, as if somebody were being dragged and their feet made those furrows.
And I also find more bullets.
But what killed the snake?
I think it was autoerotic asphyxiation.
Clearly.
I'm just going to start following the furrows.
And I'll follow him.
All right.
I'll follow him.
So, Dan and Roy finally
back at it again.
Wait, can you throw it to Hubert for a minute?
Hube? There we go. Yeah, we're back. We're back. And we're back. Dan and Roy. Finally, you see dim daylight far ahead. The subterranean tunnel begins a shift upward and back to the surface. Blinking away the bright sunlight, you're temporarily amazed to see a wide expanse of well-trimmed lawn to either side of a dirt path. 100 yards to the north is a stately farmhouse with a smaller outbuilding nearby. Behind the homestead, the craggy face of a shale surface gleams white against all the emerald beauty, except for the black hole of a cavern entrance. There is light music playing from one of the buildings, a jaunty, old-timey tune which seems to keep time with the buzzing of insects around you and the flitting of colorful butterflies in the field. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this right now.
Oh, yeah. I don't get to see it, though, right?
That is correct.
No, you're dead.
Because I'm unconscious.
Close your eyes, Brian.
And I need to reveal some areas for you.
Gross. I hope something hit the black screen.
And we're going to do...
This is what you see.
I'm blind! Oh, God, I went blind.
This is about what you see.
Oh,
Did that come
nice.
through okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And, of course, there is no sign of anybody.
I've seen True Detective. I know where this is going.
I think you do.
So then, Roy, what do we do?
We should rush the house and murder everyone inside.
I like it. Let's go.
All right. So Dan and Roy proceed along the path to the north, approaching the buildings and the cavern. Hubert.
Oh, crap. I need an antidote, too. We should find that, too.
No.
But what killed the snakes?
We're never going to answer that question now.
I guess we'll just have to leave it up to imagination.
Right.
It was probably hepatitis.
Probably.
It was AIDS.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
All
Brought
right.
the whole podcast down.
Let's take care of poor Hubie.
You bet.
Nah,
Hubert.
it's fine.
Hubie Doobie.
Hubie Dibby. You come to
Gross.
barely conscious.
Oh, but it took me like 8 episodes when I had 4 health.
You resume consciousness slowly, as if coming out of a warm bath. You find
Could you
yourself
hand me my
lying.
nightie?
Excuse me. You find yourself lying on a bed. You know this. You can sense that you're lying prone on what appears to be a comfortable bed. Your hands reach out and feel silken sheets, and your head is placed upon a soft pillow.
Those aren't pillows.
Your eyes feel swollen as if perhaps the poison had coursed through your system and inflamed the tissue around your eyes. But you're very surprised to find that you're not dead. You crack open your eyes a little bit, and a gummy residue pulls from your eyelids, and you can make out forms gathered around you.
Do I have to complete them in triplicate?
Funny you should say that, because these forms appear very similar. They're these mottled, leathery humanoid creatures with strange black eyes that are cut slit-like as if there were snakes. And they sort of sway around you at the bedside, and you are unable to move as they bend over you and place their lips on various parts of your body. You now realize that you are unclothed entirely. And their mouths begin sucking on your flesh. particularly where the snake bites occurred. So on your leg and your hand. But also they're moving, gliding, they're sucking mouths along all inches of your body. And then one of them climbs up onto you. And you realize with horror that this thing has no feet. It has some sort of malformed flipper as its hindquarters. And it crawls atop you, and you feel your manhood engulfed in what must be some sort of genitalia. And then you feel
Welcome
a
to the
movement.
Lovecraft Tapes After Dark. Oh, yeah.
And then you feel a movement where this genitalia is. And you feel something enter your rectum.
Damn near killed him.
I'm going to need you to make a sanity roll.
Oh, I'm already crazy.
Crazy about this service.
You were crazy when you were
Holy
full sanity.
crap. I don't want to.
Sanity.
I needed a 57. I rolled a 14, but I am temporary insane as it is. Does that count against me?
No.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, unconsciousness does not provide any relief from what is happening to you as this thing begins to pump against you. Who needs sound effects professionally?
Barry White slowly playing in the background, just nice and low. Romantic
And-
candlelight.
And this creature copulates with you as the remaining creatures continue to suckle at the rest of your body.
God damn it.
I wish
Reminds
I
me of
died.
the 60s.
There's a bearskin rug.
Fireplace.
Is Tom Jones there?
All of a sudden, you are inside the movie Junior.
It's not unusual to be loved by everyone. All right, I think that's where we need to call it.
Oh my God, really? Me getting raped?
Yes, you being
Now I
raped.
wish I died.
Oh,
See?
Gabe is like, me next, me next.
Tune in next time for more of Chapter 6, The Big Uneasy. Player reactions.
Oh my God. At least I'm not
Right?
dead.
Not okay. Trigger warning.
I wish I was, but at least I'm not dead.
Well, we're
I can't
already,
say that. Trigger is one of Gabe's trigger words.
We're already an explicit podcast, so
Well, shut
We
the
can
fuck
do
up then.
whatever we want all the time.
that's
And
right.
nobody can criticize us.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, we don't. That was a tough one to sort of
Yeah.
go down that road without going too crazy, but I think we did it. I think we did it. We did it.
No,
We
it
should have
did me.
made it
I like the
crazy.
fact that I just kind of covered my eyes and stumbled through the weeds and happened to find the right spot.
Well, just
All
like
right.
life.
I just like the picture of Dan running through a cemetery doing this the whole time.
I do too.
That's awesome.
That was
It's like,
so
well,
good.
I have to get to them somehow, and obviously I'm not gonna like just straight running through them, so I'll cover my eyes.
Well, it would have been fun to see what would happen if you had failed your sanity roll. I was torn between having you run into the arms of the shuffling creatures, or potentially just heading straight back towards where Rosita is reposing. So
I was pretty certain that Brian was going to be playing Rosita next episode.
I thought so too.
nice. All right, I'm going to need everybody to roll a D100, please.
Now let's waste good rolls for what I
Do it.
imagine is recommendo
Do it.
bullcrap.
It is. Highest roll goes first, and that would be Matt.
Hey,
What?
me and Brian matched.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to go up at the
please.
same time.
Roll off.
I recommend.
I recommend. Oh, wrecked him. Damn near killed him.
That's right.
Well, this week I'm going to recommend a game called Tacoma by Fulbright Studios. They're the guys who did Gone Home, if you've played that before.
Oh yeah.
Same company, except this one takes place in a abandoned space station, a lunar transfer station called Tacoma, and you get sent in there as a contractor for this company that wants you to recover the AI core. And all the people are gone, and all you have to figure out what happened is by visiting the different wings of the place and watching these AR recordings of the people as they lived out their lives. And it's up to you to kind of puzzle out, what happened to the station? Why did everybody have to leave? And why is the company so adamant on you not under any circumstances talking to the AI? They warn you multiple times, don't talk to the AI, don't go looking for the AI. And it's up to you to solve this mystery. And it's a really novel way of learning the story, because these, you literally see AR holograms of the people, and you can rewind and fast forward, and you can at some points they open up a virtual desktop, and you can hack into that and you can see what files they were looking at and read their email conversations. And it's really kind of cool piecing this whole puzzle story together.
Sweet.
And that's Tacoma. Where is that available?
It's available, I believe, everywhere. Xbox, PlayStation.
Oh shit! It's right here in my pocket. Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
And PC.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I really like those types of adventures where you have to do a lot of reading.
I love them.
I know, B. I'm sorry, but for some reason I do, because it's almost as if the developers have hidden all these little Easter eggs, and you feel kind of, I don't know, special when you can make those connections, even though maybe they're not crucial to the main storyline or the plot. They fill in those gaps with all these cool details.
I played Skyrim for the books.
Yeah, Skyrim's awesome.
Lusty Argonian made for the win.
Yes.
That is the best one.
Argonians, baby.
There's a mod that adds a sequel, the Lusty Argonian made too.
I have that
Electric
mod.
Boogaloo.
All right, so Gabe and Brian, why don't you both roll a D100 to break your tie?
No, we have to go at the same time.
I rolled an 8.
I got an 8. You got the 80.
Yep, Brian goes first.
Oh, I got
I'm
an
glad
80.
I wasted that.
I'm going to recommend a movie that nobody's probably even heard of, and this is the second movie in the series. It's called Deadpool 2. It's obscure indie film. It didn't make much money in its opening weekend, so you probably haven't heard of it. It might not even be in theaters anymore. Extremely funny. Giving the first Deadpool a 10 out of 10. I'm giving this probably a 9 out of 10. It had a lot more character development, which in the first one it was real quick and witty and snappy and action, and this one actually you felt for them a little bit more. Plus, the studios released the Sphincter and let out some X-Men, so that was nice. Everybody, I'm sure, knows Deadpool, but the story in this is it's got some emotion. They took it in a direction I didn't expect to, but I actually surprisingly liked. Just to have it stand out a little bit from the first movie. It's not all slapstick in one-liners. It has a little bit more meat on its bone. So. Whoa, not that bones. Yeah.
You know what's happening to Hubert right now?
Yeah, everybody go see Deadpool 2 or get it in 6 months because you don't go to movie theaters anymore. So
because you're a friggin' weirdo.
Who could they be talking to? I don't know.
I don't know.
I will say that
weirdo.
I did just see Black Panther, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, Black Panther was phenomenal.
Yeah. I loved it.
I saw that movie like 2 or 3 times.
Some of the CGI was maybe a little iffy.
Yeah,
towards the
a
end.
little
Don't
here
get me
and there.
started on how terrible the CGI in the train fight scene was. That was
Yeah, I had a rough time there. It reminded me of the original Spider-Man movie, Sam Raimi's.
Yes.
A little rubbery. But
Yep.
it didn't matter because the emotion was so realistic.
The emotion and the story was so in depth in that. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Deadpool 2 in several months. So, Gabe.
All right, I got a good comic book thing here. It's called The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. It was a comic book. It ran for like a year and a half almost, around 2013. It was it's basically it's these loser supervillains that are in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery that team up to try and take down Spider-Man. It's Boomerang, Beetle, Overdrive, Shocker, and Speed Demon. I'm sure you know all those famous heroes. They've taken up the guise of the Sinister Six, even though there's only 5 of them, and they're just attempting to like meet with better supervillains, get advice, and then eventually try and take down Spider-Man. And it's just hysterical the whole way through, watching them flub simple villain tasks. Like they're just really bad at their job. And it's a comical entry, and Spider-Man has the best villains of all of Marvel, in my opinion. So it's just a lot of fun. So give that a look, The Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't been reading as many comics as I'd like lately. I'm not sure why, but because I do have that comics app, and I have a few things there, but I haven't really subscribed to much. So
Reading's for suckers.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. All right, well, thank you, Gabe. My recommendo for this episode is, and I can't believe it took me this long to do this, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
1982, starring Kurt Russell, Keith David, Wilford Brimley, Richard Dysart, Richard Masur, and many more amazing character actors. Everybody sort of shines in this one.
Sounds terrible.
It is my favorite movie of all time.
That means I'm definitely not watching it.
Cocoon 3?
It took me a long time to realize that this was my favorite movie of all time, because, you know, like any movie fan, I have gone the route of Pulp Fiction for a while. There was one of my favorites, or probably the favorite for a while. But also, Citizen Kane, Silence of the Lambs, all of those sort of classics. But in this particular instance, after seeing The Thing probably more times than any other movie, I love every aspect of it. I love the mystery of it. It is a paranoia-inducing retelling of John W. Campbell's short story, Who Goes There?, which was also made into a movie produced by Howard Hawks back in the 50s, which is a good movie too, but it's a little more on the like sci-fi, black and white, technology's bad, that watch out for the Red Scourge, which is happening again, I guess. Anyways, it tells the tale of a group of men who are at an Antarctic research facility who encounter a mutagenic creature who quickly infiltrates their tight-knit organization.
Tight-nippled organization.
Tight-nippled organization. Lots of men. There are no female characters or actors in this movie. However, there are...
I hate it. That's
interpretations.
sexist and awful.
There are interpretations. For instance, the chess computer game, it has a female voice, which was actually voiced by John Carpenter's then wife, Adrienne Barbeau. She has just a quick couple lines as the computer before she is summarily destroyed by Kurt Russell's character, McCready. And also you could interpret it. I actually wrote a paper back in 1994 comparing the original Thing to John Carpenter's The Thing and the presence of the female within the movie, interpreting it as the Thing itself is a female entity. And if you watch it thinking about that, it sort of gives the movie a completely different spin than just a simple alien invasion story. Probably one of the most notable things beyond great direction from John Carpenter is top-notch, eye-popping, literally FX from Rob Bottin. Some of this practical effect set pieces are just amazing. You can't imagine how it can't be replicated with CGI, and I don't think the talent exists any longer for that level of extreme body horror. The sequence where Norris's head detaches from his body and then becomes a spider crab thing is like, you watch that and you're just not even sure how the hell they did it. Incredible stuff. And what I like
With
best
special effects, dummy.
what I like best about the special effects is none of the stuff is repeated, so the thing constantly changes and evolves, and each time that it manifests, it's something different and reflects the things that it has absorbed. So at the very end of it, the conglomeration of creatures that it becomes is just beyond creepy. It's an amalgamation of every horror that it can reflect and become. There is amazing cinematography work from Dean Cundy, using, I'm pretty sure, the Panaflex. That's the preferred camera of John Carpenter movies. So you always have that like sweet iris effect from flare lens effect from street lights and so forth. If you watch not Village of the Damned, what's Prince of Darkness, for instance, a lot of those nighttime shots are just amazing. Christine's another one. Whenever Christine's headlights flash, it's awesome stuff. So, and the cinematography and the direction just allow the shots to breathe. We get some great tracking shots of following one of the dogs as it goes room to room, and you sort of get the viewpoint of the dog. And this is the I believe first. Is it the first of John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy? I know. Yeah, it's the first.
Yeah, it's the first.
It's the first.
Yeah.
I think Prince of Darkness is the other one, and In the Mouth of Madness is the last.
In the Mouth of Madness was the.
And so the really downbeat, mysterious ending has been debated for a long time among fans as to whether or not Keith David's character is the thing, or Kurt Russell's character is the thing, or is neither the thing, and they're both going to simply die at the end of this due to extreme conditions. But there is evidence to suggest either way, and after, gosh, it's 1982, so it's been many, many decades that I've enjoyed this film. I just now have heard a theory that makes sense to me, and I can sort of land on. I'm not going to share it because that ruins part of the mystery for folks who want to watch this movie. And but I highly recommend The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982, my favorite movie of all time at this current time. So,
yay!
Yeah. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Music, Podbean, Stitcher, or anywhere you download your regular podcasts. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review. Meanwhile, you can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to all our recommendos and social media channels, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our Discord server, where you can chat with us in real time, whatever real means. I don't know.
Well, not the fake time like before.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And if anyone wants to buy my bottled sweat, which I'm now selling as the cure to the Wheaton curse, you can hit me up on Twitter at The Real Weird Kid.
And if anybody wants to sell, if anyone wants to buy Matt's bottled sweat that I stole from him, you can find me at Lovecraft Gabe.
I wasn't supposed to drink that sweat?
No.
Oh, jeez. You can reach me at Brian Podcasts on Twitter.
All right, guys. Until next time, roll for sanity.
But we're done for the day.
All right.
All left.
Ending the stream. Bye, everybody.